I have partnered up with Alois to make some champion-specific guides for the Summoner School website. I tried to put a ton of information in every single one of these guides. Currently, I've made 3 champion guides for the Summoner School website. I have made a Garen guide, a Warwick guide, and a Mordekaiser guide. In these guides, you will find stuff like explaining all the runes, the items, matchups, and so on. And on top of every single video that the guide provides, there is also a matchup spreadsheet for every single one of these guides. If you wish to check out one of these guides, the link to the website will be in the video description. Now, with this introduction out of the way, please enjoy this video. Unfortunately, in this game, our AD carry started to troll at one point and we surrendered. Sometimes it happens, but I still wanted to showcase the game regardless. In this matchup, you constantly need to play around her vitals and her parry. It's very annoying. Fiora also has a pretty easy time dodging out your Q and E as long as she holds her own Q. There's also the fact that whenever she hits a vital, she gets some movement speed, so even if you line up your Q for her dash, your Q still might miss because she will get that movement speed and get out of the way at the very last moment. It's honestly really frustrating and the lane itself is quite difficult. Before Bramblevest, I suggest you never interact with Fiora, basically ever. Try to fight her as little as you can. Though the issue is that Fiora will be quite aggressive. Even once you get that Bramblevest, if you are hyper behind, it will be really tough to interact with her. What you're looking for is your Irelia power spike. The Irelia slow combined with the approach velocity movement speed allows you to space around Fiora much easier and actually stick in the fight and beat her out. Fiora's Q dash speed scales with her actual movement speed, so when she's slowed by Irelia, it's going to take longer for the Q animation to complete. Now when it comes to her parry, there's not much you can do here. She can always parry your E. She always has time for it. When it comes to your ultimate, if her reaction time is good, she can still parry it. But if you use your ultimate at an unpredictable moment, maybe she won't get it off. Let's say you use your ultimate at the beginning of the fight and she's not ready to parry. But that's about it really. If she gets the parry off, it's really bad. The later the game goes, the worse this lane gets. Later on, all you're going to do is clear the side lanes so that Fiora can't take the tower easily, and then you're gonna move to team fights because you can never 1v1 Fiora past 3 items. Now that I have Irelia, I can fight Fiora way more. Even though she has a full Ravenous Hydra, I don't mind it. In this situation, I missed my E, so I was forced to flash to actually kill Fiora.
Killing Defeat.
This game, I thought I was going to be against Aatrox, but honestly it wouldn't make sense because the only person that could go jungle from their comp would be Aatrox. So because of this, I have the rune setup that I normally run into Aatrox, not Irelia. What I would look to do on level 1 normally is try to fight Irelia and try to push her off of the wave so she cannot actually stack her Q on the wave. The lane itself is okay, I'd say, but it does become very annoying once she gets Blade of the Ruined King unless you get some kind of advantage. What you want to do is rush Bramblevest into Rylai's. You could go Oblivion Orb instead of Bramblevest if you want, but that makes you squishier and Bramblevest is an incredible component into Irelia. The only issue is that if the enemy team has a champion like Vladimir or Soraka that won't exactly auto-attack you, then you can't heal debuff them, because a Vladimir will never auto-attack you, for example. And even a champion like Irelia that can actually auto-attack you and wants to auto-attack might just ignore you in a team fight. And that way, if they target you last or close to last, the heal debuff won't be applied either. This game, the enemy team also had an Aatrox, so because of that I was thinking about Oblivion Orb, but ultimately I did go for Bramblevest because it's just such an incredible component into Irelia. Once you get Rylai's, it will be very difficult for Irelia to escape you. Even if Irelia has Blade of the Ruined King, as long as you have Bramblevest and Rylai's, you should be able to beat her out. It's also worth noting that you can use your ultimate to dodge out her stun, so you no longer have to move up and down trying to actually dodge that stun line. That way you don't get stunned and you don't get marked. And then the moment she is in realm, there's no other units that she can dash to, which means she might not be able to stack her passive or just distance herself from you. What I would normally do is hold my Q for her Q so that I use it safely, because she can always save one of her Qs to dodge your Q, and that's good for her. In this situation, I can't exactly do that because my attack speed is non-existent. I have literally no bonus attack speed anywhere. Even in my build, I would go for Experimental Hexblade second or Dusk and Dawn second, and that could work and it gives me some attack speed. But normally I run way more attack speed with stuff like Lethal Tempo and Legend Alacrity and the 10% attack speed shard. Now that I have Rylai, what I want to do is freeze on my side of the lane and never really allow Irelia to walk up the farm. What I want to do is go past her tower and hold the wave there, and that way my minion wave will crash into her tower, forcing a freeze. The only thing Irelia can realistically do to stop me from doing this is setting up a proxy. Instead, what she does is fight me, which is a mistake because I know I can always beat her, and then she dies.
Executed. Your team has destroyed the turret. An enemy has
This is a pretty annoying matchup, and the worst thing about it is the fact that while you're fighting him, in the middle of the actual fight he's going to swap forms. Either he will go from Mini-Gnar to Mega-Gnar or from Mega-Gnar to Mini-Gnar. You're actually fine with fighting him as long as he doesn't change forms mid-fight. That's usually the worst of it. Let's say you start fighting Mini-Gnar and he changes to Mega-Gnar, then he's going to be able to beat you most likely. And the same goes for him changing from Mega-Gnar to Mini-Gnar. So try to take fights where you know for a fact you're going to fight just that one form for an extended period of time. Maybe you take 70% of his health as Mini-Gnar or Mega-Gnar and then you back away before he actually swaps forms, and that's fine. When fighting Mini-Gnar, try to land your pool. If you miss the pool, then it's going to be really bad for you. And the thing is that even if you land your pool, he can hop away. What you're looking for is your Irelia spike. You want to get there as quick as possible. Once you get that Irelia, you will have a much easier time fighting him either as Mini-Gnar or Mega-Gnar. If you fight his Mini-Gnar form and he tries to hop away, you can ulti him and then you're gonna run him down. There's no way he can ever kite you if you get your passive up. If you fight him as Mega-Gnar, then you have to pay attention to his W stun and R. What he's most likely going to try to do is stun you up with his W and push you away with his ultimate. And that would be to buy enough time for the realm to expire. And also to buy enough time to swap back to Mini-Gnar so he gets that move speed. And once that happens, he might be able to escape. In this case, I sold my starter item so I can purchase the full Rylai's. Normally, I don't do this, but Rylai's is such an incredible power spike that I had to do in this game.
Your team has
Thank you guys for joining me in this video. I hope you found the information useful, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully very soon.
I am favored by the gods and awaited in the Hall of Bones.